Okay, so we are on record. Thank you, Zoom. Right, we are live. I can see us live. There. So ladies, karibuni sana. Karibu. Linda, karibu Esther.
Thank you, Edna.
And Willis.
Thank you.
Talent Soko team.
So
thank you for responding to the call of showing up here with me to talk about salary, because you care about this generation, Ama.
very much.
Yeah,
very much.
We are they very must make good decisions. So definitely. Guys, we are live on Facebook. This session is also being recorded on Zoom. And we are here to talk about salary. What is salary? What does that mean to you, Esther, when you hear salary? What is?
Salary is basically a payment for a service offered.
And later on, you'll know why Esther said such a thing. So my name is Edna Semiti, and I'm the CEO and the founder of Zindua Career, a company that provides education, information, advice, and guidance to young people who are under 35 so that we can prepare them to join the labor force effectively. We want to make sure that by the time somebody is done with high school, they can go to people like Akina Esther Masese and tell them, I've just finished my high school, but I'm ready for work. So we do this by providing training materials and sessions in schools and helping them understand more about themselves, the world of work, what is expected, how to develop the skills. And in future, we look forward to being able to connect young people to employers so that they can get experience while they're still in school. So fingers crossed, we shall do that. I have been holding live sessions on Facebook for the last 3 weeks, discussing different topics. And today I'm talking on salary. And you could probably ask yourself, why salary? That's because it's a big topic and it's a sensitive topic among young people, especially those who are coming out of school, who are trying to enter the labor force, the workforce, and they're all energized, thinking they have so much talent in them. They have this and that, they know this and that, and they deserve a very good salary, only to be disappointed. And sometimes they end up giving up on good opportunities just because of this name salary. So we are here to unpack this question. What is important when you're looking for a career or a job? And I hope this talk will inspire young people who are in high school, those who have finished high school, and even those who are in university, even those who are in the workplace for like forever, with insights on how to look at salary. So that salary is not the reason why you're missing out on good opportunities, whether because you're turning it down or you're taking salaries that are really not at your level. So we are here, and that's why we are calling it salary. What is this thing? And I'm joined today by a wonderful lady, two wonderful ladies. One is Linda Machoka. Hi, Linda.
Hi, everyone.
Linda is the CEO, the founder of a company that's coming up called Talent Soko. She's going to tell us more about Talent Soko, what they do. But when I met her first, what she told me is Talent Soko is the Uber of
employment.
The Uber of employment. So she'll tell us more how. Yes, when you just want to move and you have some cash and you just call an Uber and it comes like that.
Oh, yes.
Apparently, that's how a job will come to you. So Linda will tell you. So Linda is here with us. She has a lot of experience in the hospitality industry and working in the operations side of hospitality. So that means she hires a lot. And she has had her own experience handling young people, especially when it comes to the topic of salary. So that's why she thought it's better that I show up in this talk and nitoe yote iliyo kwa roho. Yeah. Karibu sana, Linda. I hope you're well prepared.
Thank you, Edna. I'm looking forward to it.
Karibu. Linda is also joined by her colleague in Talent Soko, and her name is Esther Masese.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Sasa Esther,
Mzuri sana. Thank you for having me.
karibu sana. How are you feeling there?
Asante. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uko tayari kuambia
Excited.
kuambia watu ukweli.
Kabisa. I've been there, done that. And I do believe that nitawaambia tu ukweli.
Ukweli yote. The truth shall set us free.
Nitawaambia ukweli yote.
Esther is
Yeah.
a HR professional like me. So when you see me
Mhm.
nodding as she's talking, just know there's a reason why we are agreeing. She's a
descriptions are so precise.
Sindio.
No wonder her prescriptions are very precise, yes.
Yes. So Esther is she's what? The director at Talent Soko. But then other than that, she's also the head of HR at Switch TV. Yeah. I think we know Switch TV. Iko somewhere huko South B or South C.
South Sea, yes.
South
It's fully
Sea.
owned by the Kenya Red Cross Society, and of course targets the youth. So that's why I'm very excited to be in this discussion.
Yeah, and of course in your position as the head of HR, you handle the subject of salary a lot. Negotiating,
Definitely.
you know, people coming in and say, Haitoshi, you know.
Yeah.
In the interview, when people give you figures and your head almost drops, you know. Yeah.
Yes, and just tackling the question on salary expectations and challenges that candidates face when they're answering these particular questions.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, maybe you can give us insights how people can research about salaries, so that me, when I come to ukiniuliza, how much do you want me to pay you? Nisione now this is when the check is going to be written. My moment of glory has come.
And I'm telling you, it is very, very important as part of, normally when you've been called for an interview, part of your background research, which is very important because there are candidates who never do a background research about the company that they're being called to interview for. Like they don't even know what the company does. They don't know they just don't know anything about the company. So one of the background checks that you should do is find out about where that company is in terms of existence, like how long that company has been existing, how sustainable it is, how it's also doing financially. You know, we all know that Kenya Revenue is a good employer because it's been there, done that, it's been there for long. Safaricom, you know, these big corporates. So it's also important to research these other companies. And of course, you'll find that through maybe a friend. You know, sometimes you just, most of the times when someone is applying for a job, they know someone who knows someone who knows someone, if you get what I'm saying. Because sometimes it's all, maybe someone will come and tell you, oh, by the way, there's this vacancy I've had in this and this company because I know the HR there, or my sister works there, or I know a friend who works there. So when you're applying for that job, find out what kind of job is this, what level it is at, what grade it is at, what's the salary range, so that you don't go to a company which is like Talent Soko, which is less than a year. You're being interviewed for a HR assistant, and then you start asking for 150K. I mean, we'll just look at you, those ones for tunatoa wapi hiyo, you know. So it's very important to do that. Just finding out. It's you know, just find out. And also the other way to find out about salaries, not particularly for that organization, is to Google. Go to this company that usually does salary surveys, and they actually have a report. I think it's Deloitte and PricewaterhouseCoopers, Glassdoor.
Glassdoor is free, Indeed also, Indeed.com, Glassdoor.
Exactly, those things, it's free. You just go and search salaries for HR assistant or a teller. And then they will bring for you the range. So that at least you have an idea, because you can never be too sure. You won't be exact about how much it is that they offer, but at least you'll have an idea.
Yeah. Or you can talk to somebody who is working in a company that's doing similar kind of work, and in that similar position, just to understand maybe in the industry how they pay, you know. So thanks so much. Already, like Esther has already started us off. I can see her fire is turning on. She can't wait on.
She's on fire.
We hope that we'll spend the next few minutes just covering some of these topics. I have a few questions to ask both Linda and Esther on the topic, and we hope that we can impact you who is listening to us. If you're a parent listening, just listen and share with your child, whether they are, it doesn't matter how old they are. At this point, they're growing up to be adults who will be in this position. So the earlier they learn how to understand salaries, how employers think about salaries, the better. Share with them. If you are in high school, you're much closer to your adult life. Start preparing yourself on how to discuss the topic of salary. If you've already finished high school, you're out there searching for work, learn the truth about salary, how employers think about salaries, so that you can increase your chances. And if you're already in university, you're already in the workplace, now this is for you. Listen keenly. And if you can ask some questions in the Facebook live chat, please put in the questions and we'll try and assist you. So to kick us off, let me just ask Linda to, just tell us something small about Talent Soko, just quickly. And then as you finish telling us about Talent Soko, just tell us, why do you think it's important to choose the right career? Just a brief opinion. Why is it important to choose the right career?
Thank you, Edna. As you had mentioned earlier, Talent Soko, the easiest way to describe it is an Uber for employment. Why do we say that? Because Talent Soko is an online application that can be downloaded from Play Store. The same way we download WhatsApp, the same way we download Facebook and every other app, you can be able to download Talent Soko and use it. What does it do? It connects employers to employees very quickly. So when you go into the app, you will be able to register yourself as an employee if you're looking for a job or you have any talent or skill. And we keep on telling guys, it's not just about professional skills. It could also be an acquired skill. Maybe you've been plaiting hair over a long period of time. Maybe you've been playing an instrument. Maybe you've been doing some juakali work. That's a skill. So everybody has got something to sell. So you put it on Talent Soko, your gift, your talent, your skill, and another person who is an employer will also come in and register. And if they're looking for you, they will find you in there. Very simple. You just go in as an employer, register yourself. If you're looking for a plumber, go and shortlist the plumber, say what experience you want, check for their education levels, do some profiling, and then you can also be able to engage them. So that's what Talent Soko is. It will connect you to any part of the world. It can connect you from here to Dubai because the app is available internationally. That's the goodness of technology. So that's what Talent Soko does. Now, talking about a career, what is the importance of a career? I believe that's the question you asked, Edna. A career is something that is very critical to someone. It is something that is in line with your vision and your goal for life. When you look at yourself as an individual, you'll be asking, okay, what do I want? I remember when I was in primary school, I wanted to be a doctor. Hallelujah. I wanted to be a doctor, and I had a good reason. I will see people being unwell, and every time they go to be treated, it will be so expensive. And I told myself, if I can be a doctor, I'll treat everybody for free. I'll tell them maybe just to pay the bare minimum. And so I felt I could solve a problem. But as I grew up, I realized a doctor needs to have acquired a few things which were not flowing with me. And I had to discover, who is this Linda? What is Linda good at? And I discovered along the way that I have many interests. So as a young person grows, they have many interests, many passions, and it takes time before someone can actually discover which career they're in. There are people who have started off on a certain career, and at some point they've had to drop it out. Why did they have to drop off? Because they discovered their passion was not in it. So I will say a career is something that is linked to your passion. That is one. And two, it's supposed to be something that can sustain you to earn a living. So I will connect a career to passion and sustainability so that you can be able to earn a living. That is my how do I call it, layman's description. I know Esther will give it a very good HR description, but from my point of view, that is what a career is. It is very important to discover your passion, and it's very important to see how your passion connects to how you can earn a living and be able to sustain yourself. Because at the end of the day, we have to survive. At the end of the day, we have to meet our needs. So it is better if you're meeting your needs with your passion. Reason why it has to be your passion is because you should be able to do it even in the hardest of situations and do it very comfortably, of which I know very few people who can actually say, I can do my job for free. Very few people, by the way. One of them is my father-in-law, Fred Obachi Machoka. He whispers to me and tells me, you know what, Linda, I can do my show for free. It pays me well, but I can do it for free because he has discovered the passion that he has in entertaining people. So it's the same thing with each and every one of us. Can you do your job for free? That's the first thing. If you want to know if you have passion in it, ask yourself, can you do it for free? If you can't do it for free, you have no passion, my dear. Try and discover what that is so that you can be able to connect your career and your way of earning a living. Thank you, Esther. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you so much. That's the importance of choosing a career. From what I hear from Linda, you have a passion, you have something you're really good at. So choose a career that is aligned to the very thing that you're very good at. But then since you have bills and you have responsibilities, better be in a way that it can actually sustain you with your deals and with your bills. And that's why we are here talking about the salary aspect of it. Because while you're at it, doing something you love, you should be able to pay for your bills, you should meet your objectives and live your day. So thanks so much. So maybe turning on to Esther, because you are in HR, and HR is about helping people do their very best in the world of work, isn't it? Would you consider it that way, that HR people, our work is to make sure that people are doing their very best where they are? So if you were to advise a young person on what to look at when they're choosing a career, what would you tell them? And in that same light, where does salary stay? You know, if you're to say, you know, factor number one, this, factor number two, this. And then when it comes to salary, this is where it is in those factors, in the order of importance. What would you say about that?
All right. Thanks, Edna. So to answer your question, let me just also probably add on to what Linda said. When you're choosing your career, it's about discovering what you're passionate with or what you're good at. And the thing is, sometimes you don't realize what you're passionate at up until a certain age, where whatever it is that whatever career path you've chosen is not influenced by what your parents or your friends or your relatives or your mother thinks that you should do. Because one of the things that you'll notice with some of the people who found themselves in certain careers, they were influenced by the parents, where the father is probably a lawyer or a doctor, and then they're like, you have to be a doctor when you grow up. So because of that, they feel obliged to go to med school, become doctors, but they're not passionate about it. So it's very important that at that point when you're making your career choice, you're very sound and very sober, and you know that this is what I enjoy doing. Because here's the thing about careers, you can only even one of the advices that you'll get from people who advise you on how to be successful in life is, once you pick on what you enjoy doing, you will always succeed in it. Like, you'll always put it before everything, before the money, before every other thing, because you're passion driven and purpose driven. So once you have discovered this, no one should put undue pressure of what your passion or what your career should be. That's one. Two, the other thing that you need to do is identify, do a self, is because there's some careers that are personality driven, so there are people who are natural, either they are naturally caring, they're very patient. I'll give an example of myself. The reason why I went into HR was really also because of my personality kind of complements that career, the HR career. I couldn't go into med school even if my dad or even if anyone put a gun on my head, because I'm usually very scared of environment, sad, and all those things happening. I can't, I'm usually not that strong enough. You get? So once you identify what your passion is, it even makes it very easy to, one, know what exactly you want. Even when you're choosing a job, you know that this is what my passion is, this is what my strengths are. And if you're looking for a job, you are looking at, you're putting, like I said, you're just putting your passion first. So even during the interviews, you'll always know the people who are just there for the money, or who are just there because ninatafuta kazi too, I'm just looking for a job and give me whatever. And those kind of people, let me tell you the truth, they never last. They come and already within, even before they finish their probation period, they're already complaining, they're already one foot in, one foot out, they're not too sure what they want to do, they're disrupting the rest of the teams. But anyone who comes in with a clear mind and they know that this is what I love doing, they will come in, and whatever it is that you will give them, even when it comes to salary negotiations, it's easier because they know their passion comes first, and once they've put the purpose first, the money will come following. So that's the best advice I can give towards career and looking for, and just furthering your whatever, I mean, looking for to get a job and grow in it. So once you put passion before the money, the rest will come flowing. But they say don't chase. If you chase the money, it will run away from you, because money can never be enough. But if you chase your purpose and passion, then money will come looking
follow
for
you.
you. Yes, money will follow you. Yes.
So the factors that you'd say are the most important is the passion. I love this job. Probably I even love the employer. I've done my research. I love the employer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What
And
about
also,
the distance? How far I have to travel to get to the office?
okay. I get what you're saying. So, okay, sir. I get what you're saying. So the other factors that you and as that one considers when they're looking for an employer, it's one, the reputation of that. It's very important. The thing is, sometimes when you're desperate, or when you've just come from campus or college, you're just looking for any job. You don't know whether that company is sustainable. You don't know whether it is about to wind up. You don't know whether they pay people on time. You just want a job. So one, you have to look at the sustainability of that company and the growth opportunities. And here's the thing, most young people want to, they're always looking for jobs in big companies. Not I And I don't blame them, because personally, most of my 10 applications were to all banks, to KRA, to NSSF, NHIF, those big Safaricom, of course, UN, all those companies. But then I realized there are these unspoken small SMEs that are doing so well. Once you go in there, you're able to grow with the company, but when you go to a bigger company, you'll be swallowed in, because there's nothing new you're bringing. There are so many protocols, there are so many people you're reporting to. By the time you even get to HR director, there are like 5 people ahead of you. But if you join a small organization, you'll probably be the only HR, and you'll be everything. You'll be HR officer, HR manager, HR director, and of course you learn a lot, because you're sort of like a lone ranger. And yeah, so that's what most people look at. And also just really where you are at in life in terms of your social responsibilities. Are you married? Are you planning to get a family? Are you willing to be employed anywhere, relocate? And are you flexible, or are you is there something that you're working on that maybe will restrict you from um, you know getting jobs wherever? So there's so many things that people look at when that people should consider, especially when you're looking at an employer. And also the other thing that you need to look at when looking for a job is look for a job, an employer that complements your career line. Like for instance, if you're a researcher, for instance, look for jobs at places like Cambridge. If you go to Cambridge, you know that that's a research organization. So you will learn so much. Don't look for a job at Switch TV, a research job at Switch TV. There won't be so much for you to do. Or to just come and handle, a reporter on it's pick a career that an employer that complements your career,
Your
so to speak.
experience, your knowledge, what you have been learning and all that. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yes,
what
yes,
I'm
yes.
hearing you say is, there is choosing a career, there is choosing a job,
Mhm.
and there is choosing an employer. Those things
An
are,
employer.
yeah. So
Exactly. And there
career,
are three different things.
yeah. So career is what you want to do for a long time. Yeah. So you have to be
Yes.
sure that it suits you. Yeah. It
Yes.
complements your strengths. That's the thing.
You're passionate about it, and that's the thing that you will die doing. And
Yeah.
you will do it whether you're, like Linda said, whether you're paid, whether you're asleep and someone wakes you up at 4 o'clock, you can do it. You don't
Yeah.
feel like, oh my God, unanisumbua. But
Mm.
a job, it's something you're just getting by. You're working to get a pay. You're doing it to get something in return so that you can just get by,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
that's
so when you're choosing the
different.
job, that's when you look at the kind of employer, big size company, small size. Are they close by? Are they winding up? I
Yeah,
like
the
that point.
proximity.
Are they winding up
Yeah.
or not?
And it's important to understand the financials of
Is
that
it a
company,
legitimate
because
business?
Is it
That's also a question to ask.
legitimate? Yeah.
is it
Yes.
registered?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and the kind of
What do
managers
people
that are
generally
there.
say about it? Yes,
Yeah.
what's the culture of that organization? Have you, I mean, there are times you'll be applying for a job somewhere and then someone will be like, what? Don't even dare apply to that company. But
Yeah.
then here's the thing. Also, it depends on where you are at in life. When you've just finished school, you really don't care. You're just like, I don't care, I just want money. I don't care whether that company does. First of all, they don't even know what culture is. They don't know what growth is. They don't know what job satisfaction is. All they want is money. So when you've just finished school, you're not too keen. You're just like, okay, let me just get a job wherever, to whatever employer, whatever job, I don't care. Then that's what I was saying. Sometimes people realize their careers and what their passion is once they've already gotten into the job market.
Job. Yeah.
They've done some work. They've
Mhm.
they've seen, they've seen that actually my interest is here. Then there's some companies that are good enough to do job rotation, so that any new person who comes in, they do a job rotation and they
Yeah.
see where this person has more
Can
strength,
fit in
and
very
that's where
well.
they groom them and grow them and fit them in. Yeah.
So you're saying know your career first. And then once you know your career, understand which are the employers. Then when you go into job search, now start asking the details. This company, is this a good one? The job I'll be doing, is it related to the knowledge and the skills I have and the experience I have gained? Now, in there, and now I'm asking both you, Esther and Linda, in that whole process, when should the question of salary come up? When should I start asking myself, should I make a decision about salary, or should I just make a decision about the employer or just the job? When should the issue of salary come up? Because both of you have alluded to, whatever you do, it still has to earn you something. So salary is important. I think we
Yeah.
can agree that it's an important aspect. So
Yeah,
when
it's
does the
very
question of
important.
salary come in?
Okay,
Well, maybe
okay.
I can start.
Yeah.
The question of salary comes in when everything else has aligned. When I say everything else has aligned, meaning, is this my passion? Has it aligned? Is it in the right location? Probably you could be having an ailing mom, or you could be wanting to get married. Like me, my first job, I had to choose because I was just about to get married. So me and my fiance at that point had to have a discussion. When are we getting married? Where do we want to stay? And we knew for us to be able to stay together, we'll have to. So you look at the priorities. Every individual has got different priorities. Some people will be like, by the me, I really don't mind. I can go to any part of the world. I'm very okay. Some people are passionate about some areas. Others have even terminal illnesses. They cannot survive in certain areas. And a friend of mine the other day told me that they have to move to a cooler place. Apparently, hot places don't go well with them. So you will look at all those other priorities. Then when you see this is in line with my passion, this is in line with what I've studied for, my professional achievements, this is in line with my goals in terms of where the location I want to be. And now you are narrowing down on the company. then you can now start talking about salary. But I've seen a lot of young people saying, by the way, let me tell you, if you're paying me well, you can take me to the moon. I've seen that happening. So it just depends on an individual's priorities. There are people who are like, you know what? I don't care whether you're taking me to Cancun or you're taking me somewhere, I don't know, to some dingy place in the slum. As long as my salary is good, I will go. I remember when I was graduating from college, I had friends who went to Afghanistan to work. Some of them never came back, unfortunately, but others did. And why did they run there? Because the salary was good. And you're like, why would you leave the comfort of your peaceful country, Kenya, to go and expose yourself, you know? And it's so true. So at the end of the day, it also depends on people's and individuals' priorities. And I guess all our priorities are different, Edna. I may not be able to dictate to someone, maybe to my own son, but not to everybody. So that's a bit of a trick question if I was to conclude on it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So look at your priorities. That's what you're saying. Yeah. What do you think, Esther?
Okay, so on the question of salary, I'll probably try and tackle it from a different point of view. So before you even start asking yourself about the salaries and weighing on the salaries vis-a-vis what your needs are and what you have to offer, because there are two things. Whenever you're negotiating for a salary, there are those ones who come and say, this is the value that I'm giving and this is my worth. And there are those ones who always make this mistake of saying, I need this much because maisha imekuwa ngumu, fuel zimepanda, nini. The employer doesn't want to hear that. They first want you to first come and tell me what offer you, what is your value. Don't give me your liabilities and your problems and how my salary, whatever it is I'm offering, should cater for all your problems. It's about what are you offering. So the question of salary also comes in at people are at different stages in life. Yeah, there's a stage power is low. For instance, when you've just finished school, and of course, the young people who we are talking about, young graduates, their bargaining power is definitely low, because when you're looking for a job, clueless. Like when you ask them, they don't know their worth. They are clueless. For them, me, I just want a salary. Yeah. They haven't really, at that point, they haven't known what their worth is. They don't have responsibilities. They don't have things to think about which will influence their salary negotiations. Then, of course, there are those ones who, people like us now, you've already worked. So whenever you're asked about trying to think about the question of salary, you're like, okay, fine. Where am I at in life? How many years experience am I bringing in? What value am I bringing into this company? What do I want to achieve? I already have a family. Maybe I have a mortgage. I have this. Probably you have a plan for, I want to work for maybe 10 years and then I retire, and then I focus on something else. You know, all those things. So you have a higher bargaining power. And also at that point, because there are other things you're looking at, there are two motivators. There's the financial and non-financial motivation. When you're young, your only motivator is financial. Because like I said, you don't understand what job satisfaction is. You don't understand what growth is. You don't understand all the other things. When is salary tu unataka? But now when you grow into your career, you're now starting to think, okay, maybe you're offering me 50K, but you have a very good medical cover. Where I am at in life, which will add more value? Do I need more of the medical cover or the salary or the basic salary? Where I am at in life? Am I looking for growth opportunities? Am I just the salary? There's so many things that play in as you grow into this in the career, so that and salary is not just a salary issue. There are many things that come into it. There's a salary, there are benefits. So as we are bargaining this salary, even if you're paying this much, what are the benefits to match this? There are those ones who will be like, just give me 300K. Even if you don't give me medical cover and those other non-financial benefits, I'm good to I'm good to go. All I want is the money. Then there are those ones for, okay, I can take 150K, but give me a very good medical cover. Give me let the proximity from my, it's convenient. My workplace is convenient. The working conditions and the working hours are in that I'm able to balance my family time because I have a family. You're not telling me to work on Saturday. As long as all those other factors play in, then we can negotiate on that. So the salary bit is very, like, it's very dicey. It really depends on where one is at life and the bargaining power.
Okay,
Yes.
I like that. I like the fact that you alluded to the non-financial benefits of a salary, you know. That's something that probably not many people know about. And I would like, because you are in the field, you know, you are in human resources. And as your fellow human resource practitioner, I know you sit down and you start planning the non-financial perks of a job. Maybe you can enlighten us a little bit more for the sake of, you know, people who are just starting off in the world of work. What are some of the non-financial benefits of a job that someone can think about, you know? There are very many, it's a whole list, you know.
There are many, but I'll just summarize them.
So that when somebody is considering salary, if an employer says, I'll give you 20,000 a month, but then I'll also give you maybe 25 days of annual leave. You know, how should a young person think about it, you know, those non-financial sides? Yeah, please tell us more.
Yeah, so the thing is, when you're looking at salary, there's the cost of employment, which, of course, on your pay slip, the only thing you'll look at is the basic pay. But there are other costs of employment, like for me who sits in HR, we pay that medical cover we give you, we pay premiums for each person. And for those ones who have huge families, maybe M+5, you'll probably find the company pays like 150K towards your premiums, which you don't, whether you don't, for you, because for you, medical cover has been presented to you as a benefit. You don't connect a cost to it, but there's a cost to it. So if you do maybe 150, let me just pick a figure that is easy to calculate. If it's 120, because premiums that you're paying just for you, you do 120 divided by 12. So the company is actually paying you an extra 10,000, which is going towards your medical. You get what I'm saying? Then maybe there are other things like pension, right? Pension, which is also, you pay a certain amount, the company pays a certain amount. This is your money, whichever way you look at it. Even if from your end it's being deducted, it's your savings. You're being encouraged to save. The company is also paying, say for instance, if it's 10% contributions and you earn a salary of 200K. So if the company is paying 10%, the company pays 20K every month towards your savings. But most people don't look at it this way. They are just looking at it like, okay, tuko na pension, tuko na medical, there are things like GPA, personal accidents. Those are costs. You get what I'm saying? Probably you're given tea. You're offered tea and morning 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock teas. You get what I'm saying? That is a cost. There's a cost towards that. Like my staff, I give them tea and we are charged 100 bob per cup. So you see, that's a cost. So per month,
per day,
the company, if it's 100 bob,
that's good business,
per day is 100 bob, per
there.
week is, you see. So that's
it's
the thing.
100
and
bob
then of
per
course,
day, isn't it? Per person per day.
Yeah, because there's,
so they take 2 times in a day. So you can imagine that's 200.
It's 2 times, it's 50-50, yeah, morning. So the other non-financial motivators, which include growth opportunities. There are companies where you join, you know, and you're here, in the next, I'm the only HR. So even if I've joined as HR officer, I know if I work hard, next I'll be HR manager, next I'll be HR director as the company is growing, and I'll just be the boss, you know. But if you join another company where the vertical structure is so high, by the time you're getting there, really, so that people who look for that, then the people who look for, you need to look at also those things, the leaves, and also the flexibility in terms of working hours. So there are companies where you go and maybe you work from 8 to 5 or you work in shifts. To me, it's important because time is also a factor to consider when you're looking at salary. Because if the company is giving me more free time, then it means I can I can focus on either my family or focus on doing other things that can grow me, right? So there are so many other non-financial
Yeah.
little things that these young people actually don't tend to see. For them, it's mimi nataka tu nione hiyo hand. Give for me pension, medical, sijui there is leave. I don't even want that leave. I don't care for what. Me, I just want to work. Nataka tu pesa, you get. So, but that's what I'm saying also. When it comes to this salary bit, it depends on where someone is at life. The young graduates will just look at the paycheck. Someone who's had more than 10 years experience, you're just looking at other things. Is this job giving me peace? Is this job giving me enough off days to just go and spend with my family?
Maybe I can add to that also. We are more looking at and talking to the young people. When the young people are getting into the professional in the marketplace and they're thinking about how they will fit into the marketplace, at the beginning of all that, salary should not be the highlight of everything, because then you will miss out on so many things which are very critical. First of all, as we had said, you're trying to discover yourself. You don't know where your strengths are. You don't know your weaknesses. You don't even know how well you can utilize your gifts and your skills. Two, you're green. You're totally green. This thing that young people keep complaining about, and when employers have put an advert and they're saying 2 to 3 years experience, they complain and they talk about, where do you expect us to get this experience? I'm already a graduate. You get what I'm saying? So if you're saying that, then salary should not be a priority at that point. You heard what Esther was talking about, the power of the bargaining power. So this young person who is coming in, green from college, starting off, should be more looking at, I need a place which can exploit my gifts. I need a place which can exploit my skills. I need a place which I can be able to discover what I really have inside of me, because you don't know that. And two, you also want to build up on that experience, which will give you bargaining power a few years later. So at that point, I wouldn't even say way much. The question would be, is this job opportunity giving me that platform to discover myself, to be able to get that experience, to be able to at least progress in my career? Some of us have learned things from the theory. We have never done it practically. So you need to find out, is this in tune with where I'm heading? That should be the priority at that point. And that's why we even encourage young people, volunteer. Stop looking even for the salary, volunteer. One of the things that made Talent Soko start off is when we met a young lady who came to look for a job in the hotel industry, ready to wipe tables, ready to do anything, because she was desperate for a job. But guess what? She was a statistician. Even that word is difficult for me to spell.
Statistician.
She got A's in math. Yes, that one. Thank you. She got A's in math. She got first class honors and graduated from college. And here she was saying, hey, Linda, let me just do anything. I just need money. That was not such a bad thing. Maybe she was desperate. I wouldn't blame her. But at that point, because she's starting off, my advice would be, go and volunteer your work in a place where you can expound on what you've been studying in school, so that when now the rubber meets the road and you need to bargain, you've got value behind your back. So for young people who are starting off, I wouldn't tell them to put salary as a priority. I would tell them to give themselves time, build themselves up, especially if they're still being hosted by their parents. Use that grace period. I'll call it a grace period, because some of us got kicked out by our parents and our guardians. And we never know, even your parents can kick you out. Use that grace period to start, building your skill and getting to know where you're heading.
As in you have a place to start off from, and build on from there. That's a very good point.
Exactly.
Get a
I hope young people are listening. I mean, whoever is listening to us today, I hope you're understanding. I mean, I've had so many points here. I've just been writing them down. You know, there is more than salary, even for those who have been in the workplace for many years, because you still have a lot to learn. You know, we never stop learning. There is a lot. I mean, you can go and negotiate your salary with an employer and then find out what are these other non-financial benefits that you'll get. I hope mlielewa hiyo kitu ya M5 on medical. M means member, as in you're the principal, wewe, plus the other people who come with you, like if you have a spouse or a child. So some employers actually cover you up to 4 people in your family. So you can imagine if you're falling sick anytime in the year and you're with this employer, you don't need to remove money out of your pocket. You get, you get treated free of charge. And those are some of those benefits you need to ask for. So I hope you listened very well about the benefits, so that when you go to talk about salary, you don't just run to, actually, you're giving me 20K peke yake. Look at all the other things that you'll be getting. And the point to Linda, the network, working among people and building your skill and your experience and meeting people who can actually advance you. So there is every benefit to look at a job opportunity, even if the salary doesn't look as attractive. What do you think? Is that what you guys were saying all this time? Yeah? Okay. But salary is a very sensitive topic, to be honest. You know, I find, even for me in my practice as a HR, I found it very sensitive. And sometimes people can say, okay, I'll come and work for you for that salary and all the benefits, but then they don't give their all, because they still feel a little bit of a punch in the stomach, like they're being taken advantage of with the salary. And I keep asking, why is it such a sensitive conversation, Linda? Why do you think salary is such a sensitive conversation for job seekers, even if they're so desperate sometimes?
Well, it's about survival, everybody needs money. So yes, it is a sensitive conversation. I wouldn't want to just use my energy and my time and not see the value that comes out of it. So salary is close to my heart. It's one of the biggest motivators, actually. If you're to look at people who are working and you did an analysis, you will find that most of them, they're actually doing their job because they're getting money out of it. And if you're to gauge how many are doing their job because they love it or they enjoy it, very few people. So when you talk about money, money has been a very big motivator to many people. But I think to some extent, it has been turned upside down because we have used it, you see, the stick and carrot kind of thing, in terms of we have used it as a stick. It's pushing you, it's not drawing you. There's I don't know how to explain that, but what I'm trying to say is this: when you're looking at salary, you should be looking at the value that you're getting out of it, and therefore you will be able to earn value back. Or rather, the value you're giving in, then you'll be able to earn value back. But what we are looking at is more of what will I earn before I give. Anybody who sits down, they live and look at you in the face and they'll be like, you know what? If you're not giving me this, I'm sorry. And they have not even proved themselves. Ask Esther. They haven't proved themselves. They've not even started their probation for you to even actually see whether this person is professional in what they're doing. So you find someone is looking at it and they're putting a line before they've even shown their value. And guess what? If you're good at what you're doing, even if you're a stranger, if you're good at what you're doing, people will always appreciate what you're doing and they will come and pay prime for it. So there's an aspect of us trying to develop ourselves that we need to be looking at, that we have left out of the picture, such that when you're looking at money, that's all. And you see the other challenge with young people also, when they're in the comfort of their parents' house, they feel like they should be earning the same as their parents. So I'm seated in the suburbs in Nairobi, 5 minutes away from the mall. I can go and, hang out with my friends, watch a movie, come back home in my mother's house, find dinner hot and ready on the table, eat, leave the dishes there, go and, dress up, party, leave my clothes there for someone to wash. And so because you've already started living that high life, that standard, you're imagining that, hey, at you paying me what? At 15K, at 20K. Surely my mother gives me that pocket money in a week. You know, you don't know how your mother has worked over the years to be able to gain that money to give it to you. So I always tell young people, don't compare your salary with what your parents are earning. My friend, they have worked for years. They have worked for years to get what they're getting, to be able to provide for you what they're providing for you. Start from scratch. You start from zero. Be ready to start from zero. Build yourself.
There's where they
there's
started.
Definitely somewhere where they started. And they give you the stories, but you decide to ignore that bit. And you imagine that everything is just, you know, they call us sometimes we are the microwave generation, where things just go in and come out trading. That's not the case. That's not the case. And I think that's why many young people are getting frustrated. They're getting demoralized. Others are getting depressed. Others are committing suicide. Others are now taking shortcuts to earn that money because they don't have the patience of going through the journey. That journey is what is supposed to be building you up. So for young people, please, parents, talk to young people and help them to see the journey. Don't just show them the good side of life. You tell them the dark sides. Tell them how you struggle, so that they know that these things are normal and they are willing to start from zero.
Sometimes
because
also
now it's
allow
also
them.
pushing us people to
Sometimes also allow them to experience the failure, the pain, you know, the losses. If you're providing for your child and they lose something valuable, don't be in a rush to replace it. Especially if they are at an adult age, they should work hard to replace it. If, for example, you bought your child a phone and they lost it, instead of you rushing to go replace that phone, let them work hard to earn their next phone. You know, let them experience the hardship of also thinking how to meet their own bills just to live on. Because that's how we built our muscles that way, by surviving. So let them also be there. So those are very good points. I mean, for me, I hear handle the conversation with care. It's a sensitive conversation. Even when you go into the interview room, you meet someone like Esther asking you questions, you know. Handle the conversation with care. Have value. Know what value you're bringing on the table before you can decide that, you know, a certain salary is good for you or not. So we have these schools of thoughts, yeah? You wanted to add something, Esther?
Yes, I wanted to add something onto what you said. What young people need to realize is when you're on that negotiation table and during the interviews, it's not the employer's role to pay you a salary that accommodates your lifestyle. It is it's for you to come in and take whatever it is that, I mean, like, okay, the thing is, when an employer is offering you a certain amount, it's a risk thingy. Like, it's how do I put it? You see, the way when you're being interviewed, or even when you're getting into a relationship before you get into marriage, both of you have your reservations. You're like, fine, there's this thing that this guy is telling me, but no, I need to give it time. He needs to prove himself before I can eventually decide to say I do, and vice versa. And that's why there's usually that dating period for, okay, yeah, I met you and you said this and this and this. You said all these good things about yourself, but I need to give it time so that I can fully engage. So the same thing with salaries. Even when you come in, yes, sometimes we see what your worth is. And maybe in our minds, and that's why you find sometimes there are employment contracts where you'll be given this salary during probation, and then when you've been confirmed, the salary changes. So you'll find the HR, you've done your HR budgets and you've budgeted for maybe this, maybe you've budgeted for 150K for this person. But when you're hiring them, you tell them you're offering them 100K. So even if they ask for this 150, I'm reserving this 50K so that I can see whether you're worth this. Are you going to give me the value that I'm looking for? So then now, once I confirm you, or even if it's a year or later, I will now review that salary. So it's about going in and understanding that this employer is also reserving some amount for you to prove a point.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So even
very
you as the
important.
very important. So even as the person looking for a job, fine, you will probably ask for a certain amount of money because you have these expectations and there are these responsibilities that you want to fulfill. Go in, work hard so that you earn whatever it is that you want to earn. You'll even
Yeah.
earn more.
And
If
that's
you humble yourself, start with that, and then the others, whatever it is that now you will dictate your check moving forward based on your whatever it is that you're offering to the
Edna, I know
employer.
you want to wrap up, but I have a question.
no, I wanted to actually add on to say that that's what is called a starting salary. Yeah. I think it's important that
Yes.
some words are known to young people. There's something called a starting salary, you know. So when you go to talk about salary, or when you're thinking of a job or a career, remember there is a starting salary, the salary where you start.
Entry level, they call it
And
entry level salary.
it could be entry level that, you know, you're just entering the labor market, or it could be starting salary for the particular job or for that particular assignment. There is always a starting salary. And basically starting salary means if you feel it is too low, I think that's the encouragement you should give yourself, that this is the beginning. It's a starting salary. There is room for growth, whether within that same organization
Yes.
or a
Yes.
different organization, there is room for growth. I think that's very critical. And I think something else that Linda mentioned earlier, make sure that whatever you're getting is sustainable. So if you're at the point where it is better to have this 15K than to have nothing, and I think Linda mentioned it at the beginning when we were just starting the conversation, the experience, maybe you'll tell us more about the young lady who turned down the job you're offering because of the salary you're offering. You know, we should try and encourage young people to avoid that situation where you're turning down a job because of a salary to go to what exactly? Yeah, what do you, you know, Linda, could you tell us more maybe there? And maybe you can wrap up with that point you wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, I've met many young people who have turned down jobs and they'll say it wasn't paying well. And I have offered them some jobs, even through Talent Soko. There are people who have gotten job opportunities and they're like, no, I'm not taking it. Or some will not even tell you they're not taking it. They'll just disappear and they say they'll report to work. They never report to work.
Yeah.
And they let you down because they've gone through the interview process. They've done everything. They've been given the offer. And then last minute, they don't appear. And when you find out, when you probe further, but when you ask them, so have you gotten another opportunity? They say no. They are like, okay, I'll wait for the one that I want. And ask them, why is this? And one of the ladies who I interacted with just last week, not last week, actually this week, she turned out a job because what she wanted was double what she was being offered. And I asked her a very clear question. Do you have another plan? No. Have you applied other places? Yes. But have they called you? No, they have not called you. So what are you going to do? I'll just sit at home and wait for that job which will pay you. Do you think if all those jobs had, assuming she was looking for 50,000, do you think right now if I put a job out there on the shelf and tell guys this job is paying 50,000, will you find it yourself? You may not find it because all the young people are waiting to grab it off the shelves. Jobs are like gold. Salary is like gold. It won't come looking at advertising itself there for you to pick, I want this, I want that. You have to go in there and dig a little bit for you to be able to strike that gold and proving yourself. One thing that many young people are saying, and that's an analogy that is being sold to the country, they're saying there are no jobs, there are no jobs. Let me tell you, Edna, through Talent Soko, we make advertisements. You don't see people applying, and the ones who apply are not qualified. So you'll hear people saying there are no jobs, and even some are qualified, but they won't take the jobs. What is the problem? And I was going to ask you guys a question. If salary was never an issue in this country, will we say there are no jobs? If salary was not an issue, will we say there are no jobs in Kenya? Nobody will say there are no jobs. The only reason people are saying there are no jobs is because they're not finding the salary which they want. And that's where they're losing it, because the salary you want will not be on the shelf waiting for you. It's hidden in that small storekeeping job that you're supposed to start with, even though you're a procurement officer. The salary that you want will be hidden in that HR intern that you are not interested in because it's not paying, because you want to be a fully fledged HR officer. The salary that you want is in that place where you're being given responsibilities when you're at work and you're complaining, this is too much work, they're not paying me enough for this. So that is the challenge that young people have to get themselves over, so that they can be able to hit and strike the goals. I don't think we have a problem of jobs. People keep asking us, as Talent Soko, we say jobs are there. It is us who have decided to prioritize other things other than the jobs.
Let me just add one more thing, punchline, and as one of my very last advice to the youth, if you want the salary of a CEO, go in, work as a CEO, and that salary will come following you. You know what I'm saying? If you're an intern, if you're a HR intern, don't play as an intern. Don't go in and work as an intern. For after all, I'm an intern. I'm not even being paid, and so I'll just work. I'll give bare minimum. Go in and work as a HR manager, and I'm telling you, within no time, you will start, because you see, probably you're thinking, I want to be a HR manager, I want to earn 250,000. You getting to the HR manager. But if you work if you go in as an intern, you're prolonging your period of getting to that position and to that level. That's the only advice I would give to the young people. Go in. Want a CEO salary? Work as a CEO, and it will come following you.
And maybe very short, both of you. What would you say to the school of thought that no amount of money can compensate your happiness? Just shortly. No amount of money can compensate your happiness. What would you say to that school of thought? Very short. I know you want to fungua roho yote.
Now, why are you pushing us? Okay, it's true. Some of us have not been able to experience that, to say it like the Solomon said, vanity of a vanity, chasing after the wind. He had all the money. We may not say that, but what we realize is happiness is way beyond somebody's salary. Happiness is way beyond the money that comes into your pocket. There's so many other things that contribute to a human being's welfare. Your peace of mind is very important. I know people who have got big jobs and they dropped them. There's a lady that I knew. She had a very big job. She used to work out of the country and she was earning in 6 figures, and she had to drop the job. She said, I'm losing my family. I'm losing my kids. My kids are getting into drugs while I'm busy working out there. So there are things which cannot give you a peace of mind, especially, and in fact, money sometimes is one to the wrong place, because you lose focus on the other values and virtues that you can get out of life. That now you end up being a depressed person. You end up looking at your lifestyle. Yes, you've been earning a big salary. You didn't have time to date because you're too busy. You've not had a chance to establish your home. You find someone saying, yes, I'm earning a good salary. I have not been able to take care of my kids. They don't know who I am. They just get a check in their account. They get their school fees paid. They come home for holidays. They don't find their parents there. So there are many things about life that may not be linked to money. And that one of those is what gives you peace. What gives you peace when you go to bed? Some people have more peace when they know that they actually did a legal job, a job that is honest and moral. Some people will get good money, but you go to sleep and you just went and you hijacked people in a matatu and you got some good money, but will you sleep peacefully? No. So money has got a way of camouflaging the values that we should be looking at in life as human beings. And that's why before you even embark on starting on a job, sit down and write, what are my goals? How do I want Linda to be when she's turning 70? When she's just about to retire? When you're filling in your first NSSF forms so that you'll be retiring and getting some money in your account, how do you want Linda to be? How is her health? How is her family? How is her mental wellness? How is her achievements? You know, talking about self-actualization. Self-actualization most of the time has got nothing to do with money. It is with the impact that you're leaving with the people around you. So that is a place where I'll advise people to look at so that they don't lose their focus as well.
Okay,
thank you.
When you're thinking about salary, think about, you know, what is this job going to make you out to be, yeah? So that you don't go running for big monies and you lose yourself in the process. Also, if it's too little that you can't even manage your own life, probably need to think about it. So Esther, I want to ask you about on another school of thought. I know I wanted you to, both of you to say, but Linda answered for you. So I want to ask you on this other one. There's this other school of thought that jobs that are high paying are prestigious, while those that are low paying, they are average or of no value. What would you say to that school of thought? Because some people are like, if they hear me I'm earning 10,000, see, they'll laugh at me. You know me, I had such an experience once. Actually, it was a domestic worker. I was talking to her and trying to tune her to come and work for me. And when I mentioned the salary, she said, "Who is watanicheka?" You know? Yeah. So, what do you think of that salary? That school of thought that if you're earning high and then you're in a prestigious place, but if your salary iko huku chini, you're just average. Hata ni mtu wa kupitwa tu. What do you think?
Okay. So that one, there are two ways of looking interpreting that. Yeah. So depending on how you look at life, it can be very true. You know, it can be very true, and you can get carried away by the fact that high-paying jobs are prestigious, low-paying jobs are just there. But the thing is, for me, I never ever, the thing about when you look at life, there's no permanent position or permanent thing in life. We've seen the mighty fall. We've seen the small companies grow and become mighty, right? I want to give an example of, for instance, let me give a very good example of Telkom and Safaricom, yeah? When Telkom was the giant those days, and anyone who worked for you to be, anyone who was in that communications industry, if you work for Telkom, you're considered as the high and mighty. And of course, Safaricom was just starting up. And of course, guys are just wondering, what is this now? You get. So if at that particular time, anyone looked at a person who works at Safaricom and they're just looking at them, those ones for, now you think you're going to fight with Goliath. I'm just looking at Safaricom as David and Telkom at that time as Goliath. So they're probably wondering, why would you look for a job in Safaricom instead of looking for a job at Telkom? But look at where it is right now. Look at how it has played out at the moment. So for me, it's really, in a nutshell, just how you view life and your level of thinking. There's no job that's too small to be regarded as low, because even this mighty company started from somewhere. There's a time they were small. Look at Raw Media, very good example. Where was Raw Media 10 years ago? You remember during the 2002 elections when yani RMS ilikuwa yenyewe ina struggle. Yani uko tu unaona, you're just wondering, I can't even see, this TV is not even so clear, the sound is what, but they ngangana then did those elections, my friend, yeah?
Let me tell
you get,
you, Edna.
And Nakumat.
Yeah, it was even
Nakumat.
Look at Nakumat.
Nakumat
what was Naivas? Tell me, where did Naivas start? Naivas ilianzia wapi?
And the sad story,
in a small town in Naivasha.
Nasikia sahi hata Java is shutting down too. So the mighty fall.
For real?
I don't know. I think it was just a branch.
Was it?
But let me tell you, Edna,
okay.
You talked about the house help. You've talked about the house help. Let me tell you, I have a real life story of a house help who has built a very prestigious house with her meager salary of 7K. 7K, let me tell you.
I know.
And if you put her side by side with this person who Esther is talking about, 150, 200K, that person has got no home to take his family, has got no to do anything.
Yes.
Let me tell you, money is not just about what
It's
you're
not
getting.
how you
It's about
spend
how you
it.
plan
Yes,
for it,
yes.
And
how
use
you
it.
spend it, how you save it. It has nothing to do with what money you're getting, let me tell you.
I know a Mama
And I even
Mboga who was also
challenge
built
our
an
staff,
apartment.
the staff that I work with. I tell them, listen, people, yes, with her money, and there you are
Imagine.
looking down on her.
Mama
You're the one who's
Mboga,
renting that
you
apartment,
go
and
and buy,
you have no
yeah,
idea.
you go and buy
Yeah.
So it depends
nyanyas
on
from her, and then you go and live in her apartment.
And you have no idea until someone, the caretaker who comes torturing you tells you, sasa ongelesha mwenyewe, anakuambia enda pale kwa soko utampata pale. That's when you get scared. So there's an issue of financial planning as well,
Yes.
that people need to learn about, that will help them to be able to actually push themselves in terms of earning a living. And
Yes.
and in the day and era we are in, people don't have to just depend on one thing to put money in their pockets. If your priority is to build your career, you can have your priority of building your career, and you do your small side hustle on Facebook, sell some lipsticks, sell some nail polish and things, and you make a little money while you're building your career. You're also trying to, you're also engaging other skills that you have that can bring in something. So people should also have a way of looking wider, not just looking at that one job and imagining that it will solve your problems. Your job will never solve all your problems. That I can tell you. There's nobody whose job, even if you earn $1 million, you'll find yourself in debt of 3 million. So that's a challenge to guys, that we need to start looking out, and we also need to do some financial.
Yeah, and also to just add on to the happiness question, Edna, sorry to take you back.
You
In
guys,
brief,
I'm gonna
the
have
thing
to. I'm
about
gonna have
money
to
and
cut you
happiness
short.
is,
I'm
first
going
of
to
all,
have.
what
I'm gonna have to cut you short because you know
Ngoja let me just finish on this.
You guys. Kwani
It's okay. Last one. At the end of the day, so we want to give solutions to these people who are listening. Yeah, about when I think about happiness. First of all, I feel like most people don't understand what happiness is. Happiness is more internal than external. Don't look for external factors to make you happy. The same way you're told, don't expect your partner to make you happy. Be happy. Like, let it work on you first. Let it come from within you. The same thing with salaries. Probably your salary may not make you happy. That's why when you're looking for a job, don't think that if now you earn 1 million, you're going to love your job, you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to be happy. It may not be the case. Think about like go inside you and look for what makes you, what do you enjoy doing, where is your passion at, and whatever your passion, even if you get a job that's paying you 100,000, you'll be happy and you will enjoy it and you will grow.
Okay.
Thank you, Esther.
So that brings us now to the point that, you know, a good job is what you make of it, isn't it? All jobs are good. It's you who has to make out of it. But of course, there are some things you need to look out for, you know, like the illegal things, the things that could lead you to breaking down and all. But salary shouldn't be it. Because if you're in a place and you're earning a certain salary you're not happy with, then manage your finances. As you manage
more money, more problems. Sometimes.
Yeah. When you get more salary, you should expect to solve bigger problems. You should be ready for it.
I am telling you that is very true. Because I'll give myself as an example. When I was in Raw Media earning little, I was just very happy. The only thing I needed to care about is nimekula, fuel, I was staying at home. But when I got more money, I decided to upgrade my car. So I took a loan. More responsibilities. I decided to take up. Well, it's an investment, but there are some things that I did which came about because I thought I had.
You had the access,
and I ended up making.
But it's not even just the decisions,
especially upgrading my car because I'd gotten more money.
Is it just the decisions to buy more? There is also the job, So when the boss, for example, you've been working in a job, and then they decide to promote you, maybe add another 20,000 on top of your salary. Will your job remain the same? Will you solve the same problems?
They add more responsibilities, and it even reduces your work-life balance. It destabilizes it a bit.
Yeah.
more responsibility.
So let's be a little bit realistic. When you're expecting more money, you'll be expected to give more. You'll be expected to do more, to do better. So you should expect that you can be able to do that. So probably from the employer's
and you're accountable
perspective,
to more.
Linda, from the perspective of an employer, what are some of the challenges that employers get when it comes to offering young people jobs, especially when it comes to the subject of money? Maybe just narrow it down to that. When it comes to the subject of, I know we've talked about it here, but maybe you can summarize it in some examples of challenges employers experience.
Well, from the perspective of the employers, the employers do not have any challenge paying for value. If I give you a job and you do it excellently, you secure some aspects of my business that may not that will in the long run earn me some money, employers have got no problem at all paying for value. So I think the challenge they have is when people demand to be paid something which they have not proven. When you're looking at their background, you're looking at the experience where they have worked, you realize you still don't have a depth in what you're offering the company. So that is where employers have a difficult time looking at what they can give. Two, they're also the SMEs. The SMEs are startups. They're starting off small, medium enterprises. They're starting off in terms of their businesses. So they're trying to build their capacity before they can start committing themselves to very high operational costs or high staffing costs. It will take some time before they can get there. So what I'll tell young people is also look at the kind of business that you're applying for a job or that has offered you an opportunity. Which level is it in? How long has it been in existence? If you go to a business that is less than 3 years, 2 years, even less than 5 years, there's still some growth that is taking place, and you'll find that the business itself is demanding quite a bit. So that is the point where, as an employee, you should be going in to prove yourself and to add value. Because guess what? These businesses will one day pick up. And when they pick up, if you did not use that opportunity to learn and grow, they will now go to look for that manager who they can pay 3 times what you're earning out there. Yet you had the opportunity to learn and grow with them and be able to get that money that they're about to offer. So it's just a matter of a give and take as an employer and an employee. It's a give and take. Give me value, get back value.
Well, mumesikia, mumeandika notes. I'll give an exam after this, you guys. If you've not taken those notes, hey. So just to wrap it up, Esther, please tell us, since you are the one who is always asking this question in the interview room, how would you advise a young person to handle the question, the salary question, when you pose it? Is it a trick question? Are you trying to make people fail? What is the reason you're asking this question? What is your salary expectation? And nowadays, even employers have got to the point of doing it when you're applying. Uandike mwenyewe. How much are you expecting? Why are you asking this question? And how would you advise someone to tackle that question?
So basically, very simple. The reason why employers ask this question, it's not really more on you and what you've it's not about you most of the times. It's about what the employer has to offer. It's about whatever it is that you're going to say. Is it within our HR budget? Because remember, this position that you're looking to cost, or it's a new position, but there's a budget for it. So there's a budget within which you cannot go beyond. So it's really to just assess and see whether this employee is within the budget. And whatever it is that you'll answer may not really change whatever it is that we are going to offer. If we're going to offer, if we are budgeted for say 100,000 for this position, then you come and say that your expectations is 50,000. We will give you 100K. It's really just to see whether you're within the budget. Yeah. And it's not meant to be a trick question. It's just to just get to understand whether we can also afford you, and what you and whether you really believe in yourself. You know, sometimes when you're also saying giving an expectation, it's those ones for I know I'm worth this. And any employer would want to hire someone who's very confident, because if you come and say that this is what I'm worth, and the way, and like I said, it's how you answer that question. It's not really the question itself, it's how you answer it. Don't answer it and with with you in mind for, I need this because fuel prices zimeenda juu, niko na mtoto, niko na bwana alinitoroka, you know, no.
Niko na
It's for,
madeni.
this is what I expect. I know. Like, it's not the employer's business to come and
My friends are
accommodate
earning this amount.
your liabilities. It's for, yeah. Me, I just want to see whether you can add value and whether you're within the budget, period.
Thank you. So very
Yeah.
simple. Are you in the budget? Which should tell you, you need to do
very
your
simple.
little research before you go into the interview, or even before you
Yes.
apply for the job,
Yes.
that this job, what is the expected salary? You could have your whole list of things you want to buy with the salary, but the employer also has their budget. So take your time and research, so that you don't end up becoming comical in the interview.
Don't look too greedy. Yeah, you're right.
Become comical.
Comical, yes.
Yeah, it just wants to make my day. Give me a
and
good
don't
laugh.
also undervalue yourself, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason, somehow there are people who've come and undersold themselves, and I decided not to pick them because of that. Because I'm like, how can you be just not that sure about yourself? How can you not believe in yourself? Then how would I expect you to come in and work if you don't believe in yourself? How will you deliver? Because you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah.
So if you just ask for, just give me 20K, that means even if I hire you, you're coming to operate at 20K.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll just come and operate at that capacity. Yeah.
Understand the value that you've put on yourself and the value the employer has put on the job. Do your little research. Wow, guys, I think we've come to the end of our conversation. I trust that there's been enough nuggets drawn for everybody. I've picked so much information here. Remember, it's important to choose the right career, choose the right job, choose the right employer, have the right attitude towards salary, understand why salary is paid. Employers have a budget. Employers want to see your value, you know, and sometimes they'll start you off on a starting salary. Whatever salary level you think you're at does not define your prestigiousness, and it should not be exchanged for your happiness. Okay, employers also have their priorities. I think those are the points I picked up. I don't know what you picked up. You can share with us in the comments, or you can write to us and share with us. So if you have any more questions, I've been checking on the Facebook Live. I don't see any questions, so I'll just take it that we are good to go. So I'd like to give Linda and Esther the parting shots, a moment for the parting shots. So shall we start with Linda? And then you can also tell us, you know, how do we reach Talent Soko?
Well, my parting shot.
If we want to make that Uber call, how do we reach Talent Soko? You can also tell us that.
Okay, so for Talent Soko, you can and you can also call us directly if you want on 0700 777 077. You can download Talent Soko from Play Store. So just go to Play Store, look for Talent Soko. You'll see a red map of Africa looking at you beautifully. Please touch on that button. Download it, register yourself. Is enjoy life. Enjoy life. Whether you're working yourself, is it pushing me to enjoy life and gain the most that I want to get? That will be my parting shot. And I'm looking forward to interacting with you again.
Okay.
Thank you.
So my parting shot is what is driving the world right now, so to speak. And I think with COVID came, it kind of accelerated the youth, because things, and the youth is because it's, we are stage where we are energetic for people to market, that most companies are looking to recruit, because they're also looking at sustainability of their organization. They don't want unfortunately, they're probably thinking in the next few years you'll have retired. So they're looking to hire these energetic people. So what money stepped foot in, and your mindset is, know what your value is, money will come. Don't chase the money, money will come after you. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
That's my parting shot. And I wish, I just want to wish every person who's looking for a job all the best. May you discover what your talent is. May you discover what makes you happy. May you get the best employers, because also bad employers have really led people into depression. You can really look for a job, you know, this is what I want, but you get a bad employer, or you don't, you focus, you settle in a bad job, so you end up not enjoying that employment life. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So those are the parting shots from Linda and Esther, who've been here. They've graced our talk show today, just on the salary, the topic of salary. I hope there's been a lot of value in the conversation, that in the things that they have shared with us from their experience and expertise. And I hope, like Esther said, that you'll have, you'll be able to make good decisions about the job opportunities that come to you, especially when it comes to the subject of salary. You make a good decision, and even the employer. Watch out for the good employers, watch out for the bad employers. I'm tempted right now to actually ask both Linda and Esther to just give us one sign of a good employer and one sign of a bad employer. Good employer, bad employer. One, and short one. One. Just one
let
sign.
me just go fast. And it's very simple. One sign of a bad employer, the retention is hard. People are always resigning. Jobs are always being advertised. There's no retention. Good employer, everyone is always talking about it. This company, everyone hears there's a vacancy, and there are like 1,000,001 people. One position has been advertised, 1,000,000 people have advertised. Even the HR person is wondering, kwa nini watu apply? So it's really retention vis-a-vis the attraction and retention, weighing those two.
Meaning, do your research.
I agree with
also.
Esther.
Linda?
Oh my God, and
employer, you'll always find people are motivated to work, and they're not being pushed. They're not being coerced to work. You'll find that people are motivated to work. That means that they are enjoying what they're doing. They've discovered themselves, and they can see the value that they're giving to the employer. A bad employer, I will say, number one, job security. If you're not secure in your job, that is a bad employer. Someone who, you walk in today, tomorrow you can just walk out. To me, that is a bad employer. People who do not do the paperwork as they're engaging you, by the way. I always tell people, the way you come into a job is the way you go out of a job.
Yeah.
If someone took time to interview you, took time to shortlist you, took time to do your documentation, do your engagement letters, after 3 months, they confirm your engagement, that is an employer that is already showing you that they want you to stay long with them. That one who just says, ingia, kaa hapo, anza kazi, utapata barua kesho, 3 months down the line, 4 months, hakuna barua. Let me tell you, kesho yake atakwambia, excuse me, vile uliingia, ondoka. So that's a sign of a bad employer. Be careful, and we also try to encourage employers, be professional. If you don't have a HR person, go to Akina Edna, come to us as Talent Soko, we'll give you some consultancy,
Yes.
so that you can also build your image as an employer. And we can also train you on 1 or 2 things that will be able to sustain you in the marketplace, because at the end of the day, these people will talk about it. They'll say, uko utaenda, lakini after 2 days utafukuzwa, usipocheka na mama unaenda. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for that insight. Guys, you can tell that the ladies are on fire. They just want to unleash all the nuggets that they have from you. So I'm going to be posting this video also on our YouTube and sharing it around. If you want to meet any of the ladies, just put it on the comment and I will be very happy, very glad to connect you. Hata umesikia Linda amesha confirm, you can contact me as an employer. If you want a HR practitioner, yes, I'm here. I do provide HR consultancy services sometimes when I'm asked to. So I hope that topic on salary has helped you demystify some of the ideas. This is actually, let me tell you, Linda and Esther, this is a question that came out real, yani for real, in one of the events that we had with the high school students. Even in the past, when I've had the opportunity to sit with high school students and talk about salary, these questions came up. You know, should I accept a job or refuse a job because of salary? And you know, one question that I've asked the young people before is, how much do you think, after you're done with your high school, college, and then you join the workplace, your first job, how much do you think you'll be paid? Most of them do not go below 200,000. And when I break it down for them, that 200,000 salary is actually for someone who has probably worked 8 years, has a lot of experience and knowledge, then they get shocked. That probably at your level, you could start at 10,000, 15,000, high chances, they really get shocked. So young people, please remember, just be realistic with your expectation. Understand that jobs are there, employers are willing to give you jobs, and they want the best out of you, but they also have a budget, and you need to be in touch with the budget and have the right idea about salary and how to use it when you get it. When you get that 10,000, how do you make sure you use it so that it sustains you throughout the month? Sometimes young people become impatient with the salary because they feel it's not enough, not because the money is a little, but because of the habits that they have and the spending habits that they maintain. Maybe that needs to be corrected. Yeah, so that would be the parting shot. I would also like to join Esther in saying, guys, good luck in your job search. Those of you who are job searching, good luck in your career search. Those of you who are career searching, and those of you who are looking for information as well. If you'd like any more information about identifying the best career for your life, choosing the right job, or even preparing for an interview, preparing your CV, please feel free to contact us. We'll help you here at Zindua Career. This is why we exist. My name is Edna Semiti. I'm the CEO and the founder of the company, Zindua Career. Please like our video, comment, and follow us. Leave us a comment and we'll respond back to you. Hopefully we'll hear back from you. I would like to say thanks to everyone who was able to join in. I saw a few people joining in and out of Facebook. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later when we come back with another talk. This is I saying good night, good day, goodbye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You need to stop.